in here in order to make it possible for you, the other participants, to make comments, to ask of each other and the remaining of the speakers. And at the conclusion thereof, I want to also to um, say some words of thanks, and then we conclude and go to lunch, at least on the East Coast of the United States. Are there any hands up or volunteers who kind of want to jump into this and make some observations? We had some fairly active chatters. One of them was Harry Shapiro,
Shaviro, yeah.
Brian Savin, if he's still in, Martin, etc. So why don't you guys start this off?
I can say something very quick, which again is that I think that all of the rights of way and restrictions very locally have all these harmonic effects on the upper levels of the stack, and it's perhaps old news, but I think all of my comments flow from that. It's been an amazing conference, and I think you really hit on a lot of key issues, and thanks for putting it on.
Thank you very much, Harry, for these kind words. But I think that last mile bottleneck has been discussed extensively, so I don't think that we could add very much to it. And it's not a reflection of thinking that it is not important. It's just it's done. The others, of course, we did not invent these things from de novo, but nevertheless, I think they receive less attention. Maybe the FANG GAFAM has received increasing attention, though, and that will be with us, and Europeans certainly, and other places in the world, Brazil and China and so on, have kind of expressed significant issues and problems there. Um, are there any other hands or jump in points of people here? Uh,
If there's no,
everybody is in violent agreement here. What I have heard was that the middle mile issue doesn't seem to be much of an issue, which to some extent I must say surprised me. Maybe there was kind of the composition of the panel or the composition of the audience. I don't know. But when I kind of go around, people often will mention that as a serious bottleneck. However, it usually tends to be not really kind of company people who have encountered or content providers who have encountered these bottlenecks, and more people who have heard or read that these bottlenecks, middle mile bottlenecks, exist. We have not heard much about them, and if somebody here wants to add their observations on that, that would be certainly helpful. But otherwise, we perhaps can say this is an issue to be watched, but it's not something that has kind of emerged in as serious a way as the last mile, or that is likely to emerge in a more serious way as in the cloud platforms, which I suspect will happen, and that some of these cloud providers platforms, in fact, will be those FANGs, GAFAM companies. Not all of them. For example, Netflix is not a platform provider and not a kind of infrastructure platform provider in the same way that Amazon, say, or Google are. But nevertheless, serious companies, and where serious companies have market power in the media field, governments and activists tend to get busy in trying to address those issues and possibly remedy them in a variety of ways. And so these issues are with us, will be with us for good, and that makes it both challenging and interesting. Old battles. It seems like kind of no issues ever gets resolved. It just kind of gets modified. New issues emerge more in more serious ways. Privacy in the television field was not a big issue, but in the online OTT world of video, it's becoming a much bigger issue. So the issues might not be new, but the composition changes, and therefore the responses might also not be always new, but their composition changes too. So we will have opportunity to discuss these things in the future too. Let me come to the last words of thanks. In addition to the speakers and to the moderators, I would like in particular to thank Jason Buckwatts, who has put this conference together, both in terms of content, speakers, but also in terms of announcements, of kind of audience, and in particular also in the technology side. So he's really been holding this together, and we owe him great thanks. Corey Spencer, who assisted him and me in doing so, our assistant director. Thank you all very, very much. And in the design of the program, I also want to thank Bob Pepper and Bob Atkinson, who were supportive to us with ideas and concept. So I thank everyone, and to you, the audience, in numerous countries. Quite amazing distribution here. We had about 70 or 75 people here in easily 15 countries. So thank you very much for joining from wherever you are, and thank you, and we will see you hopefully soon.
Ellie, this was wonderful. The virtual conference? Congratulations.
Okay, good.
Thank
There
you,
you
Elaine.
is.
Thank you, Jason,
Thank you.
Corey.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a
All
lot.
right.
Keep it up.
Goodbye. Goodbye,
Good
everybody.
night.
Good night, Eddie.
Bye.